I'm Maureen Proctor, and we're here in Oman at Khor Karfot, where there are some interesting archaeological remains that we have been looking at this week. And I'm here with Dr. Carl Phillips. So, what's the most intriguing thing that you've seen here this week?
Well, as someone whose primary interests are in the pre-Islamic period, some of the cave drawings in the shelter overlooking the ocean here are interesting. These have been recorded now in several places in Dhofar, but the use of the very peculiar script that they use remains very enigmatic. We assume that they date back to pre-Islamic times, but we can't be absolutely certain that they're confined only to that, to the 6th century AD. We know that they did exist earlier from the being found, similar inscriptions found on monuments in the inland desert areas. But by and large, these inscriptions remain very enigmatic and await the interest of someone who's truly epigraphic specialist to work on the corpus that is being built up and for them to see what can be made of it.
Is there anything else that suggests an earlier occupation than Islamic?
The only other traces are a number of burial cairns out on the east cliff, east of Khor Khafut. These could be pre-Islamic. If found elsewhere, they would be certainly considered pre-Islamic, but the dating again could range from the Bronze Age, 3000 BC, through to any time more or less until the 3rd, 2nd centuries BC, and even into the periods beyond.
Now, this seems like a rich environment for a people to live in, many ways to subsist. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I think that it is a rich environment, but I think we also have to accept that it's a harsh environment as well. The availability of the fresh water that we have here at the springs might not have been always reliable, given a dry year. Access to the area is also can be limited on a seasonal basis because rough seas as of this month will be a characteristic, and that only leaves then the access from the inland areas, and that is also not the easiest. And at this time of the year we're walking around in that on those wooded hillsides with moderate ease. But you have to imagine what it would be like trying to walk through these wooded hillsides when the trees are full of leaf and whatever. It would look very beautiful, but movement through that vegetation would be increasingly difficult.
Well, that's a first glance at what we're seeing here at Khor Karfot in Arabia.